What is going on, my family? Your boy Demetrius is back with another classic Tekken 8 video and topic. Here, what are we going to talk about today? It's just something that's going on when it comes to like the fighting game community in general, and how on the outside looking in, how people are looking at Tekken players. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And I really think this really kind of all got flared up after Combo Breaker. I mean, historically, we can all agree that when it comes to the Tekken community and a lot of Tekken players, a lot of these Tekken players be on some weird shit. Y'all feel what I'm saying? We can all come in agreement that the one thing that comes out when it comes to a lot of players in the Tekken community is that a lot of them have an elitist mindset, that like they think they know every goddamn thing. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But after Combo Breaker, one thing that I kind of noticed, especially on the internet, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, after Falcon Rom's trailer got revealed, and then there was Armor King, and everybody knows that look, let's just keep it a stack. I keep saying this time and time again. If you're waiting for Falcon Rom and happy for Falcon Rom to come back, that's great. Good for you. You feel what I'm saying? But Falcon Rom was not received well when it came to the crowd, when it came to the community overall. People did not like what they were seeing with Falcon Rom, and I feel like didn't nobody truly care more than people did care. Let's just keep it all the way a stack. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But then when Armor King got released and everybody saw the crowd reaction and stuff like that, that's when I kind of seen a flare up when it came to this. And that's when people were getting on the internet, getting on Twitter, getting on Facebook, talking about, well, Tekken players are ungrateful. Why do Tekken players act like this? Tekken players just need to shut up and enjoy the game. This is the reason why Tekken players are so hated. So when it came to Combo Breaker, that flare up really happened right there. And then that's when, I was looking at it like, well, this is the reason why Tekken players are so hated, this and that, because ungratefulness and all of that. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Now, I do realize the word hate is kind of thrown out there too forcefully. Y'all feel what I'm saying? The word hate is kind of, outrageous. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But, this is the day and age that we live in. People take words and turn them into fucking memes and shit like that. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So that's just the world we live in. Even though we use a word like hate, a lot of people don't really mean it the way that the word is actually met. Y'all feel what I'm saying? People like saying some words just because, it's intense, especially in the FGC. The word hate is kind of like intensity to a lot of people that use it. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, that's just the day and age that we live in now. You know what I'm saying? So basically from the outside looking in, it's just like people are like, okay, why is it that Tekken players are ungrateful? Why is it that Tekken players are so selfish and shit like that? I know a lot of y'all have seen this shit and seen people talk about this shit when it came to the internet and stuff like that. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Especially after Combo Breaker, that flare up was pretty brutal, and that's when people were coming out like, Tekken players are this, Tekken players are that. But there is a reason why a good majority of these Tekken players are like that, and this is what we're going to talk about in this video today. Before I get into the reason why it seems like a lot of Tekken players are, I'm going to use the word disliked, I guess you could say, or I'm going to use the reason why a lot of Tekken players act funny, all the time, or why a lot of Tekken players act like assholes, because let's just be all the way real. When it comes to the Tekken community, there's a lot of these Tekken players, they are some assholes out here. They really are. I'm just keeping it all the way a stack, but that's what we are going to talk about in this video. Why is it that a lot of these Tekken players act the way they act and do the things that they do? So the first thing that I want to get out there is why a lot of these Tekken players act the way they act, or the reason why a lot of these Tekken players are disliked by other players, and I guess you could say other communities and shit like that feels like they be having issues, or they feel like a lot of these Tekken players be acting funny, is because a lot of times when it comes to these Tekken players, a lot of times Tekken is all that a lot of these players know. And what I'm talking about is that a lot of these Tekken players are really not even gamers. Y'all feel what I'm saying? A lot of these players, it's just really just Tekken and that's it. They don't play no other fighting games. They really don't play no other video games. A lot of these Tekken players out here, all they do is just play Tekken. Tekken is just all they know. A lot of these people just buy a console and buy Tekken, and they'll probably buy a side game or some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? And then that's it. A lot of these people are just Tekken players. Y'all feel what I'm saying? They're not fighting game players. They're not other game players. They don't fuck with other genres. Tekken is the only thing that they know. So basically, a lot of times when you got players that are like that, the only game that they do play is Tekken, they're going to build a real interesting attitude when it comes to other games and when it comes to other people talking about other games and stuff like that. And sometimes that's where the elitist mindsets come in. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Because it kind of factors in that if Tekken is the only game that you know, you will build that elitist mindset like you think you know every goddamn thing, but you really don't. So that's one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of these Tekken players act the way that they act, is because Tekken is all they know. It's the only fighting game that they know. It's really the only video game that they know. If you throw any other type of 3D fighting game in the face of a lot of these Tekken players, they will slap it out of your hand. That's just how it is with a lot of these Tekken players. It's just Tekken and that's it. Y'all feel what I'm saying? A lot of these Tekken players, they look at Tekken like Zeus. Y'all feel what I'm saying? They worship Tekken like Zeus. So you got that reason right there why a lot of these Tekken players act the way they act, is because Tekken is the only game that they know. Now, do I have a problem with it? Nah, because it's like that with a lot of other genres. Like, you got it. It's like that with Call of Duty. Call of Duty is really the only game a lot of these motherfuckers out here play. Y'all feel what I'm saying? When it comes to that genre, y'all feel what I'm saying? And like Fortnite is the same type of way. So a lot of times, you know, when you got those type of players, when that one game is all they know, you're going to get an interesting attitude when it comes to those type of players. Another reason why Tekken players act so crazy is I did a video specifically on this topic, so I'm not going to really talk about it as much in this video, is the character obsession. And everybody already knows this. When it comes to Tekken, a lot of these Tekken players are so obsessed with the characters that they main, it's absolutely ridiculous. A lot of these Tekken players, they treat these characters like a fucking religion. They treat these characters like a Greek god, like I just said, just like Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Alyssa community. They treat that character like she's fucking Aphrodite, and the character is not even a fucking woman. She's an android. Y'all feel what I'm saying? She's built off an image of a woman. You feel what I'm saying? The character is double fictional, but the Alyssa community, they worship the character like she Aphrodite. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So the character obsession when it comes to a lot of these Tekken players is pretty crazy. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And to a lot of people think that shit is weird. A lot of people do think that shit is kind of crazy, but you know, that's how it is when it comes to a lot of these Tekken players. I will sit here and say, when it comes to these other fighting games, I don't think the level of obsession with characters meets the mountain of Tekken. I don't see it in Mortal Kombat. I don't see it in Street Fighter. Don't see it in Virtua Fighter. I don't see the level of character obsession when it comes to these Tekken characters being met by any other fighting game. For real, like I said, look at the Alyssa community. Look at the Christy Montero fans. You feel what I'm saying? I say this shit all the time about the Christy fans, man. The Christy fans make Melina fans look like honor students. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So the character obsession when it comes to a lot of these Tekken players is really out of control. Yes, it is some crazy shit when it comes to a lot of these Tekken players, but you know what? That's just how it is. You feel what I'm saying? And it kind of, you know, it does rub people the wrong way, because if somebody says something about the character that they obsessed over, a lot of these Tekken players will take it personal. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And I just think the shit is crazy. It really is. And a lot of people are seeing that shit, and a lot of people are like, what's going on with these Tekken players? Why are they so obsessed with these characters? I'm seeing it. We're seeing it. Y'all feel what I'm saying? I just named it off. You know, Alyssa community, the Christy community, absolutely crazy. You know, we're tagging Harada every fucking day, leaving love letters, 6-paragraph long letters. Absolutely ridiculous. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And people are starting to see that shit and be like, man, what's up with this crazy shit with these Tekken players? Let's just keep it all the way real. And then next, everybody I know is going to agree with me with this one. When it comes to a lot of these Tekken games, especially Tekken 8 right now, even Tekken 7, you know, and I've said this before, a lot of these Tekken games, like Tekken brings a fake masculinity. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of these Tekken players, you know, for some strange reason, Tekken is a game that really makes a lot of these Tekken players really think they the shit. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, fake masculinity when they play this game, and it does get kind of annoying. I'm really annoyed by that too. When a lot of these Tekken players, they just be on that fake masculinity shit. You know, a lot of them don't even be that good at the game. They'll beat you. You know, you can beat them five sets in a row. They beat you, and then they act like they just a shit. Be like, yeah, man, my Kazuya whooped your ass like one time. You feel what I'm saying? That's that fake masculinity I've been talking about. I made a couple of videos on that. basically explaining how a lot of these Tekken players show fake masculinity just because they'll beat you in a set or some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of these Tekken games, or Tekken in general, it creates a fake masculinity amongst a lot of these Tekken players, and that shit is annoying. And then on top of that, another reason why a lot of people kind of, look at Tekken players kind of iffy is because, look, a lot of Tekken players are cheaters. A lot of these Tekken players are cheaters. I'm talking, look, 45%. A lot of these Tekken players are cheaters. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these Tekken players are hackers. A lot of these Tekken players are save scummers. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And then they want to play dumb like they don't know that people don't know what they doing. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of these Tekken players are cheaters. So that kind of factors into the fake masculinity that Tekken creates. That fake masculinity is what's driving a lot of these Tekken players to cheat. A lot of these Tekken players to use auto cheat, hacks, save scum, or whatever. Fake masculinity right there, and you really don't see that when it comes to no other fighting game. You really honestly don't. You really only see that shit in Tekken right now. Yeah, there is cheating, there is fake masculinity in other fighting game communities, but not at the level of Tekken and not at the level of a lot of these Tekken players. You just don't see it. And then you gotta cap it off. It's just basically the drama that Tekken brings. Tekken just brings a lot of drama, and when it comes to a lot of these Tekken players, that's right up their alley. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of these Tekken players just like to flock towards the drama or just spill some fucking drama. I'm just being all the way real. Now, when it comes to drama, everybody got their own version of it. Y'all feel what I'm saying? I'm not coming on here and saying that, that's a fucked up thing when it comes to drama, because everybody got their own version of it. A lot of people kind of mistake entertainment for drama. I feel like it's a little bit of a difference there, but you know what I'm saying? A lot of these Tekken players, a lot of them are all about drama. Y'all feel what I'm saying? A lot of people say I be on that drama shit, but I'll turn around and be like, nah, drama, entertainment, comedy, different things. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, the drama thing, a lot of people do look at a lot of Tekken players sideways because they feel like a lot of Tekken players, escalate a lot of drama. But, like I said before, I'm that type of person. I leave that up to the other viewers, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody got their own version of what drama actually is. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's another thing, too, right there. A lot of people think that a lot of Tekken players escalate a lot of drama. But like I said, man, I'm not going to judge off of that. So that is a plethora of reasons right there why a lot of people kind of feel like Tekken players are hated or disliked, or a lot of people feel like Tekken players are ungrateful and stuff like that. Is because of what I just mentioned right there. Character obsession, fake masculinity. A lot of them are cheaters. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So it all factors in on why a lot of people feel this way about Tekken players. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just one of those type of people that when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to things like that, I don't have a problem with it, because like I said, everybody got their own version of whatever I had just explained is, and it is what it is. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to come on here and talk about, because like I said, after Combo Breaker, that topic really flared up, and I really seen it, how people were kind of like, coming at Tekken players like, oh, why are Tekken players so ungrateful? The Tekken community has the worst community. The players are so selfish and stuff like that. And, and I just laid it down why it's like that when it comes to a lot of these Tekken players, especially the first reason. Tekken is all a lot of these players know. Y'all got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these players only play Tekken, and that's it. They don't play no other fighting game. They don't play no other video game. Like, for real. Tekken, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about this whole thing about like people thinking how Tekken players are so disliked and how Tekken players are selfish and stuff like that. And put y'all thoughts and y'all feelings in the comment section below. We could definitely get a conversation started. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to your boy for the hottest Tekken 8 action on the internet, period. As always, I want y'all to do me a favor. Let's try to get this video to 100 likes. My name is Demetrius. I will get back at you in the next video. God bless. Stay safe. I am out. Peace.